Did you know that even though there are tens of thousands of words in the English language, you really only need about 3,000 of them to say anything you need to say? I'm teaching 3,000 words in 3,000 days. Stick with me and you'll get a new word every day. Recently means it. So recently is a time marker. It means in the near past, it like 2 minutes ago. Or it could be last year if you're talking about a lot of time. If I say, so about 4 months ago, I quit a job, I can say, I recently quit my job. It's within the last year. And I'm using it, so I recently quit my job. I'm using the simple past. And I might say that because the next thing I'm going to say is what I'm doing now. So I recently quit my job so that I can focus more on my YouTube channel. Or I recently quit my job so that I can get a software development degree. Something like that. I would start recently and then use it to give me some kind of a reason for it. So it sets the stage, but I use simple past tense with the word recently. Some synonyms for recently are lately, just, or newly, like the newly formed organization did this. I recently started learning Spanish, and it's already changing how I hear and understand conversations around me. So this is simple past plus recently. And notice, whenever we're talking about adverbs, we're always going to put our adverb just before the verb. We put it between the subject and the verb. Now, I want to just say something about a small mistake. No, this is a medium to big mistake that I hear. In English, it's very important that you have a subject in every sentence. If you don't have a subject, I'm not going to know what you're talking about. And you also need a verb. Okay, just have them. If you make mistakes with what tense that verb is, that's okay. But you have to have them. So here I have the subject, I, and then I put the adverb in front of my verb, started. I started learning Spanish. I can add this modifier recently, and it kind of cues me into that I need the simple past. I recently started learning Spanish, and it's already changing how I hear and understand conversations around me. It indicates a short time ago. She has recently moved to Boston, so she's still getting familiar with the city. Now here we're using recently with present perfect. I want you to notice that recently is a time marker, and it puts something happening in the past. So why do I sometimes use the simple past and I sometimes use the present perfect? It all depends on how relevant what I'm saying is to the present moment. If it's really relevant, and I want to highlight this, that it's relevant, then I'm going to use the simple past, or I'm going to use the present perfect, and then I'm going to put it with a present progressive, like here, or I might use a simple present here. But present perfect, this present perfect form, and notice the recently goes between the verbs. Present perfect is about something that started in the past but is still relevant now. Have you seen him recently? Or has he been out of town? Now here, I could say, have you recently seen him? Or I can say, have you seen him recently? Both are correct with a question. Usually you'll want to put the recently between the verbs. However, when you have a question, you're already manipulating your verbs, so you can put it at the end. Usually a time phrase goes at the end in English. For example, I wouldn't say, this is a very common mistake that I've heard many people make. Let's look where the time phrase is. This time phrase, I went today to the store. This today is in the wrong place. We want it at the end. In English, we put our time phrases at the end if it's not an adverb. So I went to the store today. If it is an adverb, then we have a choice. Okay, so now let's change this time phrase to an adverb. I went to the store recently. I can say that. I can also put it here. I recently went to the store. Okay, so I can put it in both places because it's a time phrase. I don't put it right after the verb. More recently, the company has shifted its focus toward community-based projects and youth involvement. Okay, so more recently would be in contrast. There's going to be more information here, and they might have been talking about something that happened in the past and then something that is closer to now but still in the past. That's the more recently. It's contrasting with earlier periods. Until recently, we believed the project wouldn't succeed, but new support has changed everything. Until recently. So here I've got this adverb or this preposition until, up to just before now. They believed something and now it's changed. When you see this phrase until recently, it's marking that there are going to be two different ideas or two different things that will be contrasted. It will show a new situation. The opposite of recently might be anciently. Anciently means a long time ago in the past, whereas recently means maybe 5 minutes ago, maybe 4 months ago, but still in my lifetime. I don't know if I'm talking about democracy in the world, in world history. I might say democracy has only taken hold recently. If we look at world history, it's only been, there have been some times that democracy has really taken root, like in ancient Rome, but really it's only been until recently, the last 250 years, really, that democracy has really taken root in the world. We might say something like that. Even though I'm talking about 250 years, in the whole history of the world, democracy is a fairly recent idea, except for those moments when we look at ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and probably some other isolated systems in Africa or in Asia. But until recently, it hasn't really taken root. The noun for recently, there is no noun and no verb. The adjective is recent and the adverb is recently. Recently.
I really hope that you enjoyed this word. Use it 5 times today, write it down, commit it to memory, and I'll see you in the next lesson.